So we're going to be talking about sleeping smart. So over the past few years, I've improved my sleep from pretty terrible to pretty good. And today I'll be sharing how I did that. I highly recommend rewatching this recording in a couple weeks so that you can take notes and actually implement what you've learned because there's a lot packed in here. And this knowledge is only as useful as you make it. So we're going to be getting into some bad habits to avoid, some tools and techniques, and some habits that you can create moving forward. So first, some bad habits to avoid. It's a common list of things that are sabotaging your sleep. I see this a lot. First one is, you guessed it, procrastination. The Chinese actually have a common phrase for this. Good luck pronouncing that. But what it translates to is revenge bedtime procrastination. What this means is staying up late, usually in bed on your phone or whatever, even though you're tired and ready to sleep. I think we're all guilty of this to some extent. The solution to this is to schedule self-care time during the day so that you're not out for revenge, so to speak, when it's time to be sleeping. This is why you have self-care time. So use it when you need it. If you're not taking at least 1 to 2 hours for yourself during the day, you're going to be trying to reclaim it at night. This is what I've found personally. Your journey to financial freedom is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes consistency. So what's most important is being consistent on a daily basis without trying to do too much. And that's not an excuse to goof off. It's a reminder to keep a balance. So if you need the time, take the time. Next up, don't eat too soon before bed. Have your last meal within 3 to 4 hours of laying down to sleep. The reason for this is that the energy that you spend digesting will keep your heart rate up and your body will be working when it should be resting. There's tons of data to back this up, and I can attest to it personally. Caffeine, this one is probably obvious for a lot of people, but you should use this very sparingly, which means only as necessary, hopefully never more than 1 cup, never afternoon, and caffeine in the evening will absolutely wreck your sleep. Just being able to fall asleep is not the same as restful sleep, and caffeine is going to interrupt that. If you're drinking coffee more than once a week, maybe twice, it could easily become a bad habit. So ideally, never. You should never need coffee. Sleeping pills, I've heard this a couple times, but the way I see it, would you knock yourself out with a hammer to fall asleep? I wouldn't be doing that. So don't be taking a pill for it either. Being unconscious is not the same as being asleep. Your body needs to fall asleep naturally, otherwise you're not really resting. Alcohol is the same thing. That's just a hard no, just like sleeping pills. And drinking to become drowsy is no better than a sleeping pill. It's probably worse, actually. And it definitely sabotages your restfulness. Lots of data to back this up. You won't be getting quality sleep. This is a broad topic talking about EMFs, but in a nutshell, there's some evidence to suggest that wireless signals like your Wi-Fi router and your cell phone can disrupt your health and especially your sleep. So there's some easy things you can do, like turning on airplane mode on your phone and making sure that your phone is nowhere near your head or your heart while you're asleep, or ideally throughout the entire day. And if you can, unplug your Wi-Fi router. If you're not interrupting anybody else, that's definitely a good idea. There's no downside to it. I wouldn't blame you for being skeptical of this one, but I'd say just give it a shot because you'll be surprised by the results. So some helpful tools and habits that you can implement, things that you should try. Make sure that your room is dark at night. So cover or turn off anything that's lighting up your bedroom. You're not getting restful sleep if your room is full of light. And as a bonus, if you're sleeping on time, you won't have to worry about blocking out the sunlight. So you won't need any fancy curtains or anything like that. Also, make sure that your room is cold, not too cold, but it's been scientifically demonstrated that a cool sleeping environment is more restful. I can personally back this up. I sleep better at around 66 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. You can experiment. This doesn't mean that you should be cold, just your room. So grab an extra blanket or a quilt and turn the temperature down a little bit. If it's hot where you live and you don't have air conditioning, open a window overnight. And if you've got mosquitoes or bugs coming after you, a great investment would be purchasing a screen or net for your window so you can get that fresh air without any of the downsides. Exercise. Your body wants to exercise. This is something I still struggle with. If you have excess energy to burn off, it's going to catch up with you in the evening. And this goes hand in hand with good sleep. The best time to exercise is early or midday, and not in the evening when you should be winding down. Leave your phone behind. This kind of goes hand in hand with procrastination. Just leave it on your desk, out of arm's reach, or just turn it off. And you can't use it when you're asleep anyway. If your bed is for sleeping, and your phone is not going to help you fall asleep or make getting up any easier. If you need your phone for some reason as an alarm or a sleep tracker, you can consider buying a second used or cheap phone and only install the apps you need to actually improve your sleep. Ambient noise. So if you have noisy neighbors, creaky walls, that kind of thing, sudden noises are going to disturb your sleep. And it's hard to know if this is happening because you're asleep. So it might be worth trying. Just turn on a fan or buy a noise machine or do something that you can have a steady noise to drown out those kinds of sounds. Grab a book. So reading is a great way to wind down for the evening. But even better than reading is journaling. So if your mind is racing at night, you're not going to be able to outrun it. That's not how that works. You need to slow down your thoughts before you can sleep. And big credit to Joseph for sharing this one with me. After a long day, the only reason I can't fall asleep is because my mind hasn't slowed down yet. This is exactly what journaling will help you do. So grab a pen and paper and not your phone and write down whatever's on your mind. So what are you worried about? Which can't you stop thinking about? What did you accomplish today? What are your goals for tomorrow? What are you excited about? And what problems do you want to solve for yourself and for the world? If you don't know what to write, just write whatever's on your mind because that's what you need to empty out. Journaling can be considered a form of meditation because you're looking inwards to observe and empty out your thoughts. So meditation is also very helpful for sleep. But if you're not experienced with that, then definitely just start with journaling. It's very simple, very easy. Next topic is artificial light. Some of you I've talked to about this already. It's actually a huge topic and an emerging science, but I'll try to keep it short. In a nutshell, the light in your environment which enters your eyes can affect your health in surprising ways. So there's actually a big difference between artificial light and natural light from the sun, but your body can't tell the difference. So in a nutshell, your body uses the color of the light entering your eyes to tell the time of day. White and blue light tells your body that it's midday because the sun is brightest around midday. It's emitting a lot of blue light. Red light tells your body that it's early morning or late evening, depending, because that's the color of sunrise and sunset. So basically, blue light wakes you up, red light makes you tired. And this is via hormones like cortisol, melatonin, which we won't get into. But what can you do about it? Some simple things, actually. Turn the lights down or off once the sun is setting. Use the dimmest light required to see or work in the evening. Invest in buying a couple of red light bulbs instead of your typical white or yellow. I actually have some in my bedroom, which helps a lot at night. And this is a big one. Enable the blue light filter or night mode on your phone or laptop, which turns the screen red or yellow. This is super easy. Everybody should do this. If you have any questions, just send me a message. So if for some reason you can't turn down or turn off the lights, then buy yourself a pair of blue light blocking glasses, which are advertised to block 90% of blue light or more. These will make everything look completely red, which takes some getting used to, but they're great for when you need them. And if you can optimize the lighting in your bedroom, like buying some red light bulbs and turning on a screen filter, that's much better than buying a pair of glasses, and you won't even need them. And of course, sleep when the sun goes down so that you don't have to worry about this at all. You don't need any artificial lights when you're asleep. Mouth taping. This one is probably unexpected, but it's very important. So you should not be breathing through your mouth pretty much ever. That might seem like a bold claim, but I've done a lot of reading on this. There's a lot of evidence that prolonged mouth breathing is very unhealthy. You should be breathing through your nose when working, exercising, sleeping, pretty much always. Most people will naturally snore or just mouth breathe at night. So a Band-Aid solution is to literally tape your mouth shut, which is not as uncomfortable as you might think. I use 3M micropore tape, which is just a brand designed to stick to your skin, but most medical tape should do the trick. If you're waking up with a dry mouth, or if somebody's told you that you snore, you'll be shocked by the difference that taping will make. Personally, if it ever falls off for me during the night, I notice when I wake up immediately. I can just feel the difference in the restfulness of my sleep. So everybody give that one a shot. And in that same vein, if you're struggling to breathe through your nose for any reason, buy yourself some nasal strips. These are cheap and disposable, and they're going to help you to improve your airflow by opening up your nasal passage so you can breathe comfortably. They just sit on the top of the bridge of your nose and do their job very well. So that's it for tools. Moving on to the last section, let's talk about some habits that you can build. Create yourself a solid morning routine. So start small and add to it slowly over time. And that could look like getting some sunlight in the morning. 10 minutes is more than enough. Just get the sun on your face. It's a great way to wake up, send your body the right signals. And this is much better than just laying there on your phone. I guarantee you'll feel better after. Eat some breakfast. Don't rush to immediately start your day. Take just 15 minutes to eat something. Everybody skips breakfast these days, but it's actually the most important meal of the day. Your mom wasn't joking. When you have good energy, it's effortless to be in a good mood. That's been my experience. Breathe in the morning. If you're tired in the morning, just lay there and take some deep breaths. Just 5 minutes. It's a great way to wake up, and it actually feels really good. You're filling your whole body with oxygen, which is what you need to be alive. So give it a shot. Most important is to combine these habits. So do some breathing exercises and then enjoy some breakfast in the sunlight. Get creative. If you're crunched for time, find ways to incorporate all these things into one morning routine. But the most important habit is to stay on schedule. Your sleep schedule is one of your daily habits for a very good reason. If you're not waking up at the same time every morning, you won't be falling asleep at the same time either. We can't actually control when we fall asleep. We can only allow it to happen. But we can control when we wake up. And this means set your alarm, even on the weekends, even if you don't want to, and even though you don't want to. If you want to get consistently good sleep, you need a consistently good schedule. So this also means don't sleep in. Sleeping late is not helpful. I'm guilty of this, but I always regret sleeping in. I feel groggy and spaced out all day. It's just not worth it. And so whatever you do, don't be snoozing your alarm. It's already the morning and you're already awake. So going back to sleep is not going to be helpful. If you need more sleep, the solution is to sleep early, not late. And don't avoid sleeping early. You should prioritize it. You're not yourself when you're tired and you can't do your best work or be in your best mood. Remember that your mornings are sacred. Your thoughts and mood during the first hour of the day will shape your entire day. So take some extra time to have a great morning. It's an investment that will pay off all day long. And if you need to, start sleeping just 30 minutes earlier so you can start building these morning habits and evening habits one at a time. Don't try to do everything at once. Just take it slow. Your evening is also important, so leave time to slow down for a good night's sleep. If you're going to be going to bed stressed, you're going to wake up stressed. This is key. The key is in your habits. It's all about your routine. Habits like journaling in the evening and sunlight in the morning will help a lot. Anything that sends your body and your mind the right signals is excellent. So focus on these, build these habits. And finally, Don't stress it. Stressing over bad sleep is only going to make it worse. So remind yourself that you're doing your best and you can always try again tomorrow. You can't make yourself fall asleep. You can only allow it to happen. It's not in your control. It only happens when you let go of control. And the harder that you try, the more awake you'll be. What you can control is your habits, when you wake up and how you wake up. So focus on building healthy habits morning and evening, and your sleep will automatically become great, guaranteed. And that's a wrap. So thank you, everybody. Looking forward to your questions.